Welcome to episode 2 of our Rockgarden Teeter Totter. If you remember when we left off on the first video, we were telling the property owner that we promised to come back and finish a line and not just have this big teeter totter sitting in the middle of his yard. If you haven't seen the first video, I urge you to check out Rockgarden Teeter Totter episode 1. And as always, please click the like button, share this with your friends, subscribe to our channel, really help us get the word out about all that we're doing here with Rock Solid Mountain Bike. All right, let's get going on this project. Of course, before we could get started, we had to harvest a load of rock and then another load of rock. And then we had to finish up by getting a third trailer load of rock, so we had enough to get this going. But now everybody's here, the rock's on the property. Let's get started. Dee from Loud Performance told us that this skills area would not be focusing on expert riding. It would actually be more of a focus on beginner intermediate riding. For the experts that want to ride here at Loud Performance, there's a whole area back in the woods of drops and tabletops and a dual slalom. It's pretty intense back there. So we had to keep this line in mind of beginner intermediate riders, but we wanted to make it somewhat challenging for the short run we had here. So the idea was that Brad would work on a little rock pyramid to bring you into the line so you couldn't focus on the teeter-totter the whole time. But then Kathy would keep a sanitized entrance to the teeter-totter so it wasn't too overwhelming when you went up on it. Ron would put in the buffer for the teeter-totter and then a rolling exit. And then just for an added challenge, we decided that we would put a skinny at the end of the line when you came off the teeter-totter, which is what I'm working on. So let's take a look and see how each one of those parts went.
Jim's going slow, theoretically, slow-ish over the pyramid.
Yeah. So the pyramid's like right here. Maybe what we'll have to do is like build a line before we put the pyramid in, bring a bike over and actually see where you get turned in, right? And we'll oil.
Do that now.
Okay.
Like right over it, see where it feels good to turn.
It's all you.
We go up over a rock pyramid here.
Doesn't get you so much for
I
there.
think just more of a straight,
Alright.
almost a straight line now. Like I said, I don't know why we didn't bring the rock cart with us.
Brad, laying the bike with the chain drive down.
Bobby be scolding you.
Oh man. Bobby's one of the kids from our youth mountain bike camp, which you can find out more about at our website, rocksolidmtb.org, or with the camp we're partnered with, Wesley Woods of Northwestern PA, wesleywoods.com. now might be a good time to explain some of the differences in building a rock garden teeter-totter as compared to a regular wooden teeter-totter. If you haven't seen the first video, I urge you to go back and watch it, because a lot of things went into us building that form and the amount of weight that is being carried on that. So we're doing a couple things. One is we're being careful about how much of the weight balance we have so that the teeter won't just want to slam right down. But the second thing is, and you'll see Ron putting in tires into the ground, is so that when the teeter-totter does come down, it'll have a little bit of a cushion so that it won't be as likely to break up the mortar that's holding all of the rock together. And there it is, the completed line with what we think is the world's first rock garden teeter-totter. Now we know the Shreddist built a floating rock garden over on his channel, but we have yet to find any evidence of another rock garden teeter-totter anywhere. So we're gonna up the challenge coming up to some of the other YouTubers to do something with rock, but for right now we just need to find somebody who's willing to ride this. And it looks like Kathy was the first one to grab her bike and give this thing a try.
Go faster! Go faster!
Can't go faster.
Nice save.
Smack my knee in the frame. It just didn't totter. It didn't totter like I thought it would. And then I nubbed into something. I don't know if I hit. Did I come off of it?
You were,
Yeah.
you were right over in here.
Then it tried to come up and it tossed your back wheel up.
Yeah, I could feel something happening at the back end, and I had no control back there.
Well, as with any prototype.
Before getting back on the teeter-totter, we decided to spend a few minutes and talk about, the laws of physics and different rider abilities, made a couple little adjustments, and then we were ready to do it again.
Oh.
But then you wheelied and went over this way.
Yep. I almost ended. Watch out.
He's coming in hot here, Brad.
So,
Yeah, you just gotta.
Give it a
It
second.
rolls beautiful. You just gotta do it like a regular teeter-totter. You gotta feel that.
As soon as it starts tipping you down, just go.
Just let it roll you off.
And there we have what we consider to be the world's first rock garden teeter-totter, available to be ridden by any who would dare. And we have a little room right there next to it where we have an idea for a second line. I'm only going to give 2 hints: library and roller coaster. Also built out of rock. In fact, we're going to throw down a challenge to some of the other big YouTubers that do a lot of trail building and building features, and have them come up with an idea for something to use with rock instead of always using the 2 main mediums of dirt and wood. So there's our challenge. If you want to know what's happening, make sure you subscribe, especially when that next video comes out with the new line in the spring. All right, take care. God bless.